this is the Kyoto vlog. This is us on the bullet train coming from Osaka to Kyoto. It took about 2 hours, and the bullet train is a lot faster than even I expected. After settling in, we were so hungry, so we made our way down to the food markets. First up, one of the tries that we had were these crackers that they dip in different sauces and put different flavorings on them. They were actually pretty good. They taste like something very similar back home, but they were just a lot fresher. There were so many cute little nooks and crannies each of the streets had, and there were so many different random foods and stuff they were selling on the streets. We had seen a lot of people talking about the custard fish, so we gave the Snoopy ones a try.
Say about a Snoopy, guys. I don't get any custard, but the bread's good. That custard is good. 10 out of 10, good try again.
After doing some shopping, we made our way to the famous gyoza spot and had a lot of gyozas and this delicious dessert. Did some more shopping and looking around before making our way back to the hotel.
Oh, the one with the kitty cat.
First full day was full of lots of temple hopping, but of course we had to start our day off at the famous temple, which has got 10,000 torii gates. It took us about 2 hours to get all the way up to the top and back down, which ended up being like a couple kilometers of walking, but it was so worth it. Get him off. No, it's a stick bug.
Get him off the road.
There were a few ways that you could come back down from the top of the shrine, but we made our way through one that had so many cats and lots of fish. We ended up doing some souvenir shopping before stopping and getting a matcha and vanilla ice cream, and Dylan got a slushie. When we were walking back to the train station, there were some uni students that asked me to fill out a form, so I did, and they gave me some free lollies. But we caught the train back to the next spot, and there were some really skinny buildings actually. But we made our way to Mochi, which is this famous spot for getting the mochi where they do it in front of you. Dylan ended up getting a chocolate one.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to just eat this.
I can't. Oh. It's good.
We had initially planned to go to the shrines and temples in that area afterwards, but it was so busy, so we ended up just going back and getting some food.
This whole bag was only $20 Coke, and I got some. Dylan got apples frozen. He got a freaking hot dog. I got some salt and vinegar chips because I've been craving them. Dylan got some donuts. Dylan got some meat and rice, and then I got pretty much like a carbonara. $4 and $5.
Hey guys, it's Dylan and Sienna here, and we're drinking Coke and watching live. That's not a good view. That is a good view.
Once finishing Love Island, when we assumed that it would be quieter, we made our way up to Temple. This was half an hour before it closed, and it was still jam-packed. It was so hard to get a picture, but the views were definitely worth it. When we caught the bus into the temple and shrine area, we ended up getting dropped off and walking through a cemetery. And to get into the temple, we somehow managed to get in without paying. But we got to see all the pretty views as the sun was setting, and people were everywhere, but it was such a lovely place. After taking our pictures and looking at the temple, we made our way through all of the streets and the souvenir shops down to the next temple and the old little town. As it began to get dark, we just walked along and just kept walking until we found this random temple, and we were so excited that we found this because it was so cool, especially at night. Once exploring there, we made our way through the markets and the streets, and we somehow ended up at Macca's again. Day 3, we ended up getting some food before we made our way to the cat cafe at the end of our street. We ended up getting a cheese dog and a protein bar. When you googled it, it said there was a cat and a ferret cafe, but they ended up having another animal, which you will see soon. But they were all so cute, and we loved our time there, getting to feed them.
Hey, grumpy buddy.
You want to swipe at me? Of course he is.
Go.
Give me. Oh, the meerkat. They're all around you, Dylan. Dylan, I'm feeding a meerkat. Dylan. Oh my god, Dylan. Dylan, the meerkat. The meerkat. You need a what? Oh my god. I have a meerkat on my lap. Haven't had any. Okay, Dylan. Can you lick it off for me? Hello. Hi, would you like some?
Oh.
After that, we ended up doing some shopping in the main street before we made our way to one of the famous ramen shops in Kyoto, which was Engine Ramen. Once we had eaten, we then caught the bus about an hour out of the town, just to a little bit of on the outskirts to be able to go to some more temples. The trees here are absolutely stunning. The autumn colours are just like to die for. But we ended up going into this one that you have to pay for. It was only like maybe $4 to get in, but it was so cute. It was like there was like hardly anyone there, and you could really, really enjoy it. There was lots of koi fish and lots of little paths that you could explore.
Water bottle. Dylan's Coke. Dylan's sausage.
Teriyaki chicken,
Teriyaki chicken bun. Ice cream cone. Dylan's.
Yep.
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
I'm gonna try that. Might have to eat it with chopsticks though. Pork bear bun.
Teriyaki pork bear bun.
Dylan got another cheese stick.
Even though it's rubbery ass, it's kind of good.
I got a rice ball and some dumplings.
No spoons, Steve.
And Dylan got some
Beef again. Okay, you got.
Day 4, we took a 40-minute bus ride to Arashima to be able to go to the monkey park. It was cash-only entry, so we had to walk around to find an ATM to get some more cash out. But we eventually made our way there, and we had to walk up this really, really steep hill to even get to the stop.
It's so cold. My nose is red.
After walking for a while, we eventually made it to the top of the mountain / monkey park, and there were so many monkeys, and they had the best view. Like, they were living the dream life. You weren't allowed to touch or feed the monkeys outside of that area in there, but they would literally just like walk up and like walk across your feet. Like, the monkeys did not care, but you just couldn't touch them. There were monkeys everywhere, babies, big ones, everything.
Oh. Are you wrestling for it back?
You dirty dogs. Let the baby out. This one has 2 in it.
Oh, he's a lucky guy, is he?
So this is not the greedy one?
No.
Do you like that movie, man?
Why are you bullying the poor? You're Derek, you made him angry. Peanut.
Peanut.
I'm out of peanuts.
Once we finished feeding them, we went for a little look around to see all the rest of the monkeys when the workers started calling out to them, like, and they just knew it was food time. They just like all started running from everywhere. From the top, they were just jumping, they were walking over our feet to be able to get down there as quick as they could.
No wonder they love this food.
Yeah. Well, there's a baby on the back over there.
After watching them eat, we just admired the monkeys and admired the view before we started making our way back down to the bottom of the mountain. From the monkey park, we walked all the way past the bridge again, back into town, and walked along the main strip and did some shopping. We got a matching keychain before we made our way to the bamboo forest. The bamboo forest was huge. The bamboo was really, really high, higher than I expected, but it was also so busy that it was really hard to actually admire the bamboo. From there, we ended up getting a 45-minute bus ride up further out of the town to be able to go to this temple, and it was so cool. They had so many of these little statues everywhere. Once we had finished walking around the temple, we made our way back down to the bus stop, but this time we had to walk all the way back into town, which ended up taking about 40 minutes to walk through, but it was so cool getting to look at all of the traditional buildings. Of course, our next stop was ramen, so we ended up stumbling across this little building that had this tiny little door, so we had to like duck to get in and then go order at the very end of this strip. We then had to walk around outside to then open a door and come on inside. We then had some of the best ramen that we had our entire trip. It was so cold that we had so many layers on when we were getting dinner. Day 5 was team labs and exploring. This morning had actually snowed when we were on the bus very lightly, but it was so cold the night before, so it was kind of expected. But we ended up just walking to team labs. We had actually done the team labs in Tokyo, so we just skipped a few of the rooms that we had already done in the Tokyo team labs. But there were so many different cool rooms when we went to this one as well. This room was extremely trippy. It made you feel like you were actually spinning with the image, but one of our favourite rooms ended up being this ballroom. So they had all of these balls that were filled with air, maybe like a helium kind of balloon style, and they had all these air vents, and it would push all the balloons around in all different directions, and it would just like hit you in the face and just come out of nowhere. Dylan and I spent most of the time throwing balloons at each other until Dylan stepped on one and it popped, and that was it for us. But we went through this light one, and then this next one was a slime one. So you had to put these boots on so that you wouldn't get your shoes stained, obviously. But I was so worried about getting my white jeans stained that I just like shuffled my way through because it was really slippery and I did not want to fall over. This next room we were so excited about because we had seen it all over TikTok, but it was a room full of bubbles and you could walk through the bubbles. We got raincoats and masks so that we wouldn't stain our clothes or get water on us. This room was so much fun, but I also felt like a complete idiot because we were one of the only ones that had the raincoats on. One of the final rooms, you walked upstairs and there was this big room in the middle and you would walk through to all different rooms on each end. First up, this one, when the sound moved, it would move the water and make little gaps of no water. And there was like big crystal one and there was a lot of light ones. This one, you can make little puppet ones, but the next one was super trippy. It felt like you were just constantly looking at stars. They had these at the Team Labs in Tokyo. However, this time you could actually touch and play with them. So it was pretty cool to like watch your reflection as you moved and bubbled through, but it was also so cool with all the lights on them. Of course, our first stop out of Team Labs was to get food. We had these burgers and they were absolutely delicious. Once finished, we then caught the bus about an hour out to the famous Golden Temple. We then walked around admiring all of the different aspects of the temple before we made our way back into town to be able to do some thrift shopping and get some food. There was also this light show at the train station, which was pretty cool, and we watched for a while.
We just went out for dinner. We went to this restaurant that we were going to get the carbonara ramen, but they don't sell it anymore. So we ended up just having normal ramen, but we ended up just doing some thrift store shopping. I got these white kind of like pants. They're like that parachute-y kind of material.
So yeah, I got this shirt, right? Very breathable. It's got a nice collar on it. Yeah, it's a bit different to what I have. Got nice sleeves, nice cuffs on them. Breathable. Yeah, I've said that already. But yeah, it's got that. And then I also got I got this belt. I'll tuck it into my fucking belly. Pull it out, and then it's like a magnet. So I push it. Oh shit! Push it through, and then you just pull, and it tightens as tight as you want it. And you want to release it. So it's pretty sick. And then my favorite one, I got the Diesel wallet, $40. I found it on eBay as well, and it was gone for $3.60, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we got like the card holders, little coin holders. We got some Korean won in there, and my snapped in half $10 note. Yeah, and then we've got the Sunny Angel. I'm hoping for the I'm hoping for the skunk because it reminds me of Sienna because she stinks. And then I've also got my donuts that I'm gonna eat in a minute after this vlog. So I'm pretty stoked for that. But yeah, overall a pretty good haul. Can't really go wrong. $60 for everything. This was a $9 shirt. Belt was $7. Wallet was $40. Fucking stoked. Peace out, Dylan out.
Maybe anything but the hedgehog or the boo, whatever that is. They're pretty boring.
Okay. I want skunk because you smell.
Thanks.
No worries, baby.
and it feels like it has ears.
Let me see.
Or a sheep, or a mouse.
My brilliant freaking skills. I personally am thinking it is the sheep, and I am 100% on that. If I am wrong, I will give Shannon $5 right now. It is 1,000,000% the sheep. Open it up right now. Bang. I'm the fucking goat. Look at that. Sean the fucking sheep. That's what they call me. Do we look the same? I think we got
You
it.
do, you do.